Hello, Flirties. It's me, Benjamin, the Flirt Coach, and Gay Libra here at Flirt Headquarters, welcoming you to episode 113. Oh my God, 113 of the program of this show we call Flirtations. The conversation I have coming for you today with the legendary Rebecca Moore, all about reinvention, change, exploring new things, new phases of our lives, no matter who you are, where you are in the world, how old you are, doesn't matter. If you don't know Rebecca just yet, trust me, by the end of this episode, you will. She's amazing and incredible, and I can't believe this is happening on Flirtations, but it is. But here in the intro to the intro, Flirties, thank you so much. Thank you for being here, for tuning in, for listening, for streaming, wherever you are in the world. All of this is for you. I could not do this without you. So thank you so much for being here. I invite you to please rate, review, subscribe to the show if you haven't already. If you have, thank you so much. If you haven't, now's an opportunity to drop 5 stars before we get into the full conversation coming now with Rebecca Moore. Coming up on this episode of Flirtations is the iconic Rebecca Moore, adult industry legend, one half of the unforgettable Cock Destroyers, star of Slag Wars, and soon competing in an Ironman. Today, we're going beyond the fame to talk about reinvention. In this conversation, Rebecca shares her journey of stepping away from porn and adult work, grieving the loss of her dear friend Sophie, and navigating what life looks like now. We talk about confidence, change, and why it's never too late to choose a new path or to discover an entirely new version of yourself. Rebecca shares how she stays playful, how she keeps evolving, and how we can embrace change no matter what phase of life we're in. We'll also hear some flirting tips, Rebecca's thoughts on her gay icon status, and what it's like training for an Ironman. So, whether you followed Rebecca for years like me or are just getting to know her today, you don't want to miss this conversation as we explore reinvention and why it's always possible to change and ask yourself for more. Let's do this, Flirties, and meet Rebecca Moore.
I heard you wanted to flirt. I heard you wanted to flirt. I heard you wanted to flirt.
Hello, my name is Benjamin. I'm the Flirt Coach and a gay Libra. Everyone has an inner flirt.
Hey, Flirty.
Live, laugh, flirt.
Work the flirt.
Work the flirt.
Delulu is the Salulu.
Expert on the flirt.
Hey, Flirty. There's always another flirt.
Everyone has an inner flirt. Get out of your head and into the flirt. Flirties, today on Flirtations, we welcome the unforgettable Rebecca Moore, a performer, icon, and part of the legendary Cock Destroyers, known for her bold confidence, viral fame, and fierce love of the gays. Rebecca has carved out a legacy of sex positivity, reinvention, and unapologetic self-expression. From adult film to cultural icon, she's lived many lives, and today we're talking about what it means to change, to be seen, and to never stop becoming more. Rebecca Moore, welcome to the show.
Oh, thank you. I clapped myself. I really like that intro. Thank you very much. It's very kind.
So excited to have you on Flirtations today. Thank you so much for making the time to come on the show. I've got lots of questions for you. The Flirties came through with questions as well about change, reinvention. But here at the top, I feel like I know you some. I've definitely been following for a while, but for the Flirties getting to know you for the first time today, how would you describe yourself?
Oh, okay. I would describe myself as, first thing my brain is screaming, MILF. So MILF, I would say as well, characteristics, I'm hardworking, I'm fun, I don't take myself too seriously. I'm very sex positive. Mm-hmm. I'm ambitious. Mm-hmm. I love animals, and I'm pretty much in a kind of place right now where I am. Funnily enough, the topic that you've raised is about reinvention, and I'm kind of in a place at the moment where I'm navigating my way into where I'm going next. I'm very settled. As well, which I wasn't at one point. So I'm in a new phase of life. You know, I'm 45 in August, which is very exciting, which I love my 40s. Yeah. So,
oh my gosh.
Yeah. What else? Like, I can't sing, I can't dance, but I'm really good at making adult films. And I got out when I was at the top. I thought, now's time to leave. Like when I was at my height, I thought, get out now. A bit like I know James Dean is dead, but I just thought, you remember him as a really good looking chap. Yes. I just thought they'll all remember me as, the best, the MILF of the UK. So it's a very long description, but I don't really have one-worded descriptions for myself.
Oh, I love all of it. And I'm also, this year I'm going to be celebrating my 40th birthday, and I'm so excited I'm just ready for this next decade.
The thing about turning 40, it's so exciting. And I just think, people keep saying to me who are older, they're like, the best is yet to come. And it's so true. Every year for me has got better and better. And I just think that every year is a blessing. I think I was more insecure about my age when I was 30.
Yeah.
And I think I remember like I'd get the odd wrinkle and I'd like, it was like the worst thing in the world. And now I'm just so over it. I'm so over it. I'm like, I'm just so happy to be alive. And I think there's a sexiness in maturing as well, a massive sexiness. So I'm really enjoying it. I'm really young because I'm 45, so that's like super young for the next stages.
Exactly. I feel the same way. In many ways, I feel younger and more alive than I ever have.
Absolutely, I do as well. Yeah.
So I'm going to sort of flip my questions here for a moment and ask you one that I was going to ask more towards the end, but you just alluded to your retirement, your exit from adult film work in 2023. Part of why I wanted to ask you this question is I feel like we have these passions, we have these pursuits, we have these careers, we have these relationships that perhaps can really define us. They can become, in a sense, who we are. Yes. I know I relate to that some as the flirt coach as well. And so I just want to hear a little bit more about that decision to leave adult film work.
So when I was in the Cock Destroyers with Sophie, I remember this seed growing that I was thinking possibly then I started a relationship and I was thinking, maybe I do want to think about leaving this. And the difference is I think at that point I would have been leaving it for someone. Okay. And I think the difference with this, because it can affect your decision when you're in a relationship, you've got somebody else to consider. Anyway, that relationship didn't work out and the Cock Destroyers kind of blew up. And I was like, okay, this has given me a new hunger for a different kind of vibe. So I think if the Cock Destroyer moment hadn't happened, I probably would have left even earlier because I think I was like getting a little bit bored, if that makes sense. I felt that and I think the thing about change is it comes from within. There's kind of like this outer body feeling that's like, I need to do something different. It's like a soul thing. And I felt that there was just a different, there was something, I didn't really want to be traveling all over the place. I wanted to be a bit more settled. And I did feel, it's very natural for me personally, I felt that I was changing with an age kind of thing as well. It wasn't that I was giving into, I'm getting older now. It was how I felt. My internal change was, I want to get a house. I want to settle down with myself. And it's been the best decision that I've ever made. And actually, when I posted it on Twitter, and it was actually a picture. I just put a little sentence and I put, I'm retiring. And I think it made millions, it's like a picture. It's like, it was just like, oh my God. I mean, I am still telling guys that I'm retired. There's not a lot of them haven't accepted it as truth, but they're like, please come back. And but the truth is, right, I did retire. It's a classic, okay? When you're a lady in the industry, it's a classic. You retire several times as a business opportunity to get the money in. So they're like, she's not retiring. I'd retired several times and I'd come back going, I'm not really, psych. But this time really, I was like, I'm really done. And I told a lot of my clients that they were like, are you really because you form such relationships with clients and fans. And I was like, everything's done. I deleted I had this website that I'd had millions of hits. It was called Adult Work. And I'd been on there for years. And for me to delete, I just don't think I logged in. So they just got rid of my page. And that was monumental. Yeah, that was monumental because I've been on there since like 2005. And it's a Lady of the Night site. And so I just, all these things, I was making the right moves to just say, I'm done. And that's it. And so I and obviously with the OnlyFans, OnlyFans gave me that income that I could do that. So I had been working on that a long time, having this balance of films, meetings, OnlyFans, had these 3 different incomes to really, this is the one that's growing so much, and these 2 can now go so as I can focus on being at home and stuff now.
Okay.
With my 6 dogs.
Yeah. And I've been following along with the vlogs too, not just with 6 dogs, but also training for an Ironman.
So I'm doing a half Ironman first. And honestly, the training is insane. It's so insane. I can eat a lot more, which I love food anyway, which is a mega bonus, but it's exhausting. It really is.
The swims, the bikes, the runs, you're out there something like before the sun even comes up. And I'm like, Rebecca, what?
The swimming, honestly, I couldn't swim. And I took up swimming because I kind of needed a little bit of help at that time in my life. You know, the stuff with Sophie was going on. And I was like, I need a hobby, you know, I need something to put this mind at rest.
Yes.
And I would just swim, and I think about her a lot. This was when she was still alive.
Yes.
And it just helped me such massively. It's really strange. I don't think I can even explain my relationship now with swimming. It's saved my life in so many ways. And then I'd always wanted to do a triathlon, chose to organise that. I thought I want to challenge myself. Yeah. And as it's getting closer to the event, I have an outfit. I haven't shown the outfit yet, but I've actually, you know, it's got the Growth Rider on the back. It's got Sophie Anderson. It's like a love heart here. I've got lips all over it. So it's very like Cop to Straw on brand in the sense, because it's like, I want to do this. I want to have fun. And it's massively, I'm going to be thinking all the way through that. About Sophie, because even though she's gone, it's like she has shown me to live. Like living is so important now, and doing that. And you know, for me, like these hills in Swansea, they're massive. Like they're insane. I test it out. Like, oh my God, what am I doing? And I'm going to be like, isn't this so funny? Because a little bit of me is like, she's going to be with me. I'm just going to be like, you're never going to believe what I'm doing. I'm doing half Ironman, you know. And I just always think about her and her good. You know, my brain won't allow me to look at where things went. I can only sort of the girl that I remember. And it's just been so nice and so incredibly healing of a time of grief. So yeah, I'm very much looking forward to it. Swimming, I can finally swim, thank goodness. Thanks to lots of lessons.
Gosh. That was when I did one half or like a sprint triathlon.
Nice.
And the swimming was, that was the one. It was the most difficult part of the triathlon for me, that open water swim. And there I was like, it was in Florida, and I was like, where are the alligators? Are they coming? Are they going to get me?
I couldn't do that. I just couldn't.
It was
the thought of maybe alligators would be, or sharks. UK, I'll stay in the UK. You don't have to worry about
that. Stay swimming there.
Just pollution here. I don't know what's worse.
Just a little bit. I definitely want to hear more about the Cocktisters, of course, about Sophie as well, and how you got into sex work and performing and adult films. I'd like to hear a little bit more about your journey into that, as we really opened with your retirement from this. Now coming back a little bit full circle to how you got started.
Yeah, so I think that's kind of how Sophie and I bonded as well. We had completely different paths into the industry. So Sophie's was a lot different to mine. Mine was, because I was like, how have I never met you, Sophie? Because she was like, oh, babes, I've been working in parlours. And I was like, no. And so the pair of us, we were both single mums, and we got a lot of identification with each other, and we bonded very quickly. And I think that's something that is quite common in my world with women. Is there's a lot of single mothers, and I think there comes a time, and I think the same thing with me and Sophie, we kind of got to the point that we sort of didn't really give a shit what other people thought.
Yes,
there was all this shame and everything, and we were just kind of like, hold on a sec, I'll take your advice when you are paying my bills, but at the moment to be honest with both myself and Sophie, it was a bit of a fun escapism as well to our normal lives. So we are both, in our real life, we were both doing mother stuff, life at home can be very, very simple, and cooking dinner, making breakfast, all the nice things. And so this part of our lives that we had both gotten into, she had been into it for a very long time, and I had gotten into it when I was about, because I'd had my kids very young. Our home life was very, being a young mum, you've kind of missed out on a lot, and so I feel that, and we both had these conversations together, like, how did you get into it? How did you get into it? And both was very money driven, but once you get into it, there's this excitement and there's a lot of dopamine. For me, I was having dates with lovely men and getting paid for it. So it's quite, now I'm almost like, I feel like maybe I kind of like going on dates and getting paid for it, and I just had a really good experience, and I can't fault my time in there, but there just comes a time where you're like, do you know what, I'm done with this. I want to just do something different. I did stripping and all that, so I do think that there was this sexual creature inside myself that was like, I need to express myself. Social media was so much different. Because I was thinking about this earlier. I was thinking about, so when I first got in, have you heard of Citizens Advice Bureau?
No, I don't think so.
In the UK. Okay, so it's a free service that's a legal service, okay? So I was studying to be a lawyer. This was like around 2007. So I had got this position as a free legal advice. I was giving people free legal advice, which was very easy. Yeah. And I was also got work experience before I was going to become a lawyer in this solicitor's office. And all while my face is on all of these pages making my own amateur porn.
Yes.
Oh, no one worked. No, you could do this stuff. You could moonlight. And that's what I was doing when I was it was so awesome. I was just like, yeah, whatever. But now, can't really get away with that. If you do something, back then we were doing crazy things all the time and it wasn't going anywhere. Right. So I could have this double little sordid life that I was doing and enjoying. So things have changed massively.
Yeah. I got some really good questions here from the Flirties and some I have for myself as we're talking about reinvention and change. And I'm just really curious to hear about how you balanced that more so adult film persona, that side of yourself, with the version of yourself that is off camera. Are they the same person? Are they an extension of, they're both, extensions of who you are? And part of where I'm going with this question is, because I hear from Flirties all the time, to tie it to dating and relationships, we sometimes see ourselves as the partner, the girlfriend, the boyfriend, the wife, the husband, right? The caregiver, right? We kind of lose ourselves in our roles that are more outward facing, right? For what we do for others. And so I'm just curious kind of how you balance the public with the personal.
So you've probably seen from my socials that I'm giving a little bit of my normality away, because I feel that when I was seeing people out, it was all, I think there's only so much I can do in my life. I was like, I can't do this every day. You know what I mean? Yes. I want to say that for fun. And I thought I gave so much of this, turn the camera on, persona, high energy. And I thought, I am not, particularly when Sophie and I kind of were in that, the cock stories ended, that was really upsetting for me. I found it, I don't know if the only way I can explain it is a creative block happened for me. So I had this massive, I withdrew myself and I just went, right, I'm just going to focus on OnlyFans. And I'll be really honest, it's taken me, I only feel like I'm getting my like mojo with everything back, even though I think I've given out a really good image of holding it together, possibly. I think I'm just, and I think that was it going on with me internally. There was a lot going on. I feel like my joy is coming back.
Okay.
You know, like really, and I think my joy was back, but I really feel it now. Like, say if I was a battery, I feel like it's like 99% like joy, pure joy.
Yes.
And I feel like technology has overtaken me all while I'm in this buzz. I'm like, oh my God, it's so fast. It's like TikTok. There's like, I'm now one of these women. It's like, what? Oh, I've got to do this dance. Like, but just do it. You know what I mean? I just want to do things that are fun. And so I found myself doing these stupid TikTok. I did do a TikTok dance today, to be fair, because I was just like, oh, I kind of like it.
I can't wait to see that.
I like being silly only when it comes like organically. And I was thinking, how can I promote my OnlyFans without getting naked on fucking child-friendly, excuse my French, child-friendly places?
Oh, good. We got to get around those community guidelines.
I know. But all while there is always an end goal. I am saving to build like a retreat here with this. I'm renovating a property, and it's the truth is I think there's this kind of, I've had a word with myself, and I'm like, what do you really want? Do you really want to, like, do you not enjoy adult work and things like that? I decided to take away the things that I didn't enjoy anymore. I don't I don't want to go and meet up and shoot. I only want to do what I want to do. I'm doing so well. I just think, just enjoy yourself, girl, because that's going to pay for this place, you know? Like, honestly, I came out, I was thinking, I think I might fancy finding love. I think I might look for a guy, you know? Yeah. And I just found, you know what? Honestly, I've decided I don't want one, because quite frankly, there's too much judgment out there. And I'm not willing for somebody to go, oh, you do OnlyFans? Oh, yeah, I do. There's so much. Like, guys can't cope with a woman that does OnlyFans. A lot can, but I'm not maybe interested in them ones. I don't know what it is. The guys that are okay with it, I don't like them. So it's like, I've decided, I thought, I'll sit in my bed with all my dogs, my 6 dogs. I went, I'm just really fucking happy. I've never. So I came out of a 7-year situationship, right? 7-year situationship with a client. Hello. Like, that is, take your own advice, Rebecca. And I have, like, I was like, God, please, just like, you know, when someone's like you're attached, it's like this trauma bond. Someone's told me it was, totally. I don't know. Yeah. So I'm free. I'm free. Yeah,
I mean, it sounds like, you've decentered dating, decentered men, and are focusing on your own pleasure, joy, and happiness. What is Rebecca?
I know. And I'm actually really, really happy. And I do believe that when you're happy, I don't know, something might come along, but then I'm still not sure, because I really love my own time now.
I get that completely. Yeah, there's always this intangible timing element to dating that I feel like is this sort of, like, maybe you've heard of the invisible string theory about like how you and your it's like the theory says that you and your your one, your soulmate is somewhere out there in the universe, and just through these parallel realities where you're living your life, they're living your life, all the while the universe is pulling at this invisible string to bring you two together, and when the timing is right, that's when you will meet, and that's when it'll happen.
Interesting. I have faith.
Yeah, I have faith as well.
I have faith. And I'm just going to leave it. I'm not going to make any effort. Yeah. I just think well, obviously I'll look good. That's the maximum amount of effort I'm going to make. Yes. But I'm not doing, I know. So on the point of flirting, so I used to be a real go-getter with men. I used to be like, I'll have you, I'll have you. And I think there's something, I'm not going to do the dominant woman anymore. I'm like, if you can't come up to me, I'll go without.
Okay.
That's where I'm at.
I think some of the flirties are like, yes, Rebecca, they're in the same phase of their dating life as well.
Good.
Oh my gosh. I have so many things I want to ask you. So we've got to get into, I mean, we've been talking about it throughout the conversation, the cock destroyers and Sophie Anderson, all started with a video that was uploaded to Twitter, October 2018, that went viral. And we were introduced to the dynamic duo, you and Sophie, the cock destroyers. I'm curious, what was it like to just become so famous?
It was absolutely bonkers.
Yeah.
It was totally bonkers. So I'm writing a bit. I do a lot of writing about that time, and I'm working on something at the moment. So when I think about it and I teleport myself back to then, it's such a good time for myself and Sophie. And it's almost like a part in my own personal history that is frozen and is so sacred to me, because we didn't know what viral was. We didn't know what we were doing. It was very organic. Like, we'd never mentioned cock destroyers, but we had this energy in this room. And she, we were partners in crime. I just felt that, for me personally, I felt Sophie was such a laugh, and she was great because we would make these little videos, and I initially would send them to my best friend, Emily Balfour. Okay, like, isn't she just brilliant? Isn't she fun? And she said, oh my God, she's amazing. Like, we had this, because I was always the one talking when I would get together with a girl. I was always the one talking, always overpowering. And the girls would kind of like, oh God, I can't do what you do. But Sophie was amazing. It was like, oh my God, I love it. But it wasn't like I had to tell her to do anything. I say something, and she would just like have this perfect timing. And I remember one of the first ones, I'm trying to find this video. It's actually before the viral video. We're still trying to sell tickets for the gangbang. And we've literally, we sat down like, it almost reminds me like two schoolgirls, we sat there in front of this camera, right? And we've got bikinis on, and we're like Bill and Ben or something, the two of us like this, like, it's just really funny, like, hi, yeah, we've got this gangbang, blah, blah, blah. And it's just so funny. And I say it's, there's a little fee, and she goes, just a small fee, and it was after this one. I'm trying to find it, because it was the first video that I had personally made of us, and I sent to my friend going, like, isn't she great? Yes. And she was just like, you two are perfect. You're absolutely perfect. And everything was just so natural, organic. Sophie was hilarious. And that's the thing with why I think things were successful for us. It's because everything was a laugh. We enjoyed having sex, but it was an absolute riot. Everything was a joke to us. Everything was, we couldn't help but to make things. She always had such a sense of humour as well, and I had a sense of humour. And so that's where I think it was like a match made in heaven. And I think when we organise such things, like, I mean, not on the scale of Bolly Blue. My God, I don't even think that we ever came up with numbers like that. We were like, does that many men want to ever see us? We can't even sell these last 6 tickets. But, the thing is, we always had a laugh. We always kept safe. We were always the women in charge.
I love that. And me, the flirt coach, maybe not your target audience, but you all became gay icons. I mean, icons in the queer community. I want to hear a little bit more about that. Yeah.
So when the pair of us, we started getting these messages, and we were looking, you could sort of see, if you looked up the cock destroyers, there was like things coming up, and we were just like blown away. And I phoned Sophie, and I said, what's happening for you? It's like, are you getting loads of DMs? Do you know what video that we did? Because we were doing loads of videos at the time.
Yes.
And we were being called gay icons. And I honestly feel like if you're called a gay icon, it's like the best thing that you can be called.
It is a compliment.
Yeah, it was a massive compliment. I said, Sophie, you've been called a gay icon. She went, I've been called a gay icon. I said, I wonder what we've done, because we couldn't work out what video it was. Anyway, we thought it would go away, but it didn't. And it was just monumental. And it was incredible. And it changed our lives massively. And for me, I still have that love and support as well from the community. And it's just been amazing.
I know. I was having some conversations before recording. What does Rebecca and the Cock Destroyers mean to you? And it's partly the confidence, it's partly the fun, it's partly the sex positivity. And I think so many of us are searching for our own identities. We're trying to figure out who we are. And sometimes, not all the time, but a lot of the times we find ourselves through our relationships, through dating, but specifically our sex lives. Right?
Yeah.
Like that can really come to define us in a way that may feel limiting or may feel confining. But the way you present it and you showcase sex, it's, wait a second, this is a really fun, expansive experience where we get to play, we get to experiment, we get to embody confidence, we get to just be ourselves. And so I think you present this alternative to sex that feels good.
Yeah, that's great, and I think it's just so nice to hear that, to be honest, because I guess that Sophie and I, when we were going about doing what we were doing, I think it comes from a place of you'd been so kind of like, I think we were at a point in our lives where we just didn't care anymore what other people thought, and we were going to live for ourselves, and it was like we kind of lived in a bubble as well. We're like, we so didn't care what people thought. We were like, well, we just want to get some more tickets. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
So it was such an honest place that we created that video from that it's almost recreatable. You just can't, like, it was just a moment in time, and it's just a lovely part of my history and people's memory, because Twitter was really fun back then as well.
It sure was.
It was such fun
when it was still Twitter.
It was really amazing. And like, we get tweets from RuPaul, from Michelle Visage, from all these drag queens, and it was just this meta world of sex positivity, fun, and I'll tell you what else would, like, Sophie and I would be putting our X-rated porn, and know what gay people were blocking us. They were like, "This is hilarious!" Like,
give us more. I mean, you all were. Probably, you were the inspiration from one of the most famous, or one of the most well-known Drag Race episodes of the UK, I think, ever. The Frock Destroyers, right?
Yes, that was right. That was great. Yeah, I think eventually, I think. Drag Race might have said enough of the Cock Destroyers. No more references.
Never
anyway,
enough for me.
That's alleged anyway.
Allegedly. You were talking about Sophie a little bit ago, earlier in the interview, and how you're going to honor her. She did tragically pass a few years ago, and so I wanted to just hear a little bit, a few words about Sophie, maybe how you remember her. Yeah,
so I have done a lot of it. It's crazy to say a couple of years ago. It's just gone so fast, and honestly, it's so hard to still accept. But there was times that I'd do like an interview or something, I wouldn't even be able to talk about it. I hold her memory, our good times, so like I'll go over it, and I'm going back and doing things. There may be a documentary that we're working on, and that's I only work with people who I really trust, and I'm working with somebody who really uplifted myself and Sophie throughout. And you kind of know, like, because there are people, I think, within what we do, there's some people that won't write that story very well. And I really want to protect it, because I think there's more to Sophie than kind of meets the eye as well. She changed my life, in a really amazing way. And I feel the way of honouring her is just living a healthy, long, beautiful life, always bringing her up in times when I can. I have had a triathlon suit made, and I wanted it to be fun rather than morbid. So I thought, you know what? I am going to make it colourful. Sophie was always known for her lips, so I've got massive lips here. I've got kisses all over here. I've got like a tattoo that says Sophie Anderson, one of those hearts kind of thing. And then I've got like Growth Fridays on the back, which is our podcast, which was kind of born because of that time, and this kind of era that was quite dark at the time because Sophie had passed for such awful reasons. And I wasn't going to do it for charity. But when I got this outfit, I was like, why wouldn't I use my platform to use a charity, get some kind of charity work, get some money, do something positive, if that makes sense.
Absolutely, yes.
But I was kind of like going, okay, what do I choose? What would be in line with Sophie? Now, I know that there are many charities that Sophie would have chosen, but I kind of wanted to highlight why she had passed, and I chose Women's Refuge because I just think it's very difficult. I think coercive abuse and things like that. I don't know a lot about those things, but I do know what I do know is that Women's Refuge is available for women that want help and for people that want help. And I used it many years ago because I needed help when in my 20s with my daughter. I've been in a Women's Refuge. And so I've kind of done the full circle. My triathlon is in Swansea, which is where I lived when I got put in the Women's Refuge. And I just chose that one. I didn't even think about why. And I chose the charity in memory of Sophie. I've already hit the target. I'm super happy about that. And I'm just determined to just have something good come out of all of this, in the sense of just honouring her memory, because there is a lot of negativity that gets said about Sophie. People that don't understand addiction, don't understand mental health, don't understand the level of love addiction and those unhealthy, toxic, there is that in itself, when you're in a relationship, and I have some understanding about this, like that kind of love addiction and unhealthy, sometimes when there are drugs involved or whatever, it just distorts the mind. And, it's, I have some compassion and understanding, but I know that a lot of people online, they just go sex worker, drug addict,
Absolutely.
And I think that's none of my business, So for the people that love Sophie and cared and understood, they'll absolutely understand that addiction is an illness, and maybe, and there's this need to blame porn, and there's need to blame, and absolutely not. Do you know what? It may have extended her life. She had a very, very traumatizing childhood, and maybe being in the cock destroyers and all those times, maybe that gave her another bit of joy. And because when I last saw Sophie, which was an intervention, I said to her, when were you at your happiest? Let's talk about that to try and get her in some positive state. And she said, you know what, Rebecca, she goes, it was when I was in the cock destroyers.
Oh my God.
And I just it was lovely. I was like, you're not lying to me, are you? And she went, no. And so that was a really lovely time for both of us, and that's the part that I will remember.
Absolutely. Oh, that was a beautiful, beautiful tribute. Really honoring her legacy, but bringing, highlighting a lot of just what it means to live and be alive too, and just the trials and tribulations we go through. And so, congratulations on hitting the target already.
Yeah, I'm blown away really, because I just thought that's amazing. So I'm gonna I've quietly put the target back up because I haven't even shown off the outfit yet, and I was like, well, maybe we could get some more. But
you're gonna get some more. Yes, definitely.
It's a really good cause, and I just thought, that's because of Sophie. Do you know what I mean? That money is because of Sophie. I think on the day all this training and stuff like that, she's always been with me. She's with me every day. Like, I think about her all the time. I think everybody's experienced grief, but we don't, it's not sort of like obvious how we deal with it or how we should deal with it or when it goes or anything. I don't think it does go. It's just this sea of, like, I still, sometimes I'm out on my bike and I see something nice. I think, Sophie won't see that. I know it's like crazy, but it's like, and the world's changed almost so fast. Sometimes I just think, I just want to tell Sophie about this bit, like she'd laugh, And I feel that I'm living in this because we didn't talk properly for after, I was so against her partner and for many reasons, but that those horrors became true. But I still think about had he not arrived, how we would have laughed about certain things and things like that, you know.
Yeah.
I honestly just thought she was going to dump him, to be fair.
Yeah.
But, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I think just talking about grief for a moment, like I wish my grandma were here, and she's a big inspiration for a lot I do, a lot of what I do. And every time I say the word flirt and I go high up like that, that's for her. That's for her because that's how she would say it. So
you're so lucky to have a grandma. I didn't have one, and I always I do find a lot of my friends like they have like a grandma, granddad or grandma, and actually a lot of my male gay friends they talk about their grandma, not so much their mum. It's the grandma. Is this a thing? You know that kind of they'd have these really amazing bonds. I'm like, that's so cute.
It is. I think that seems to be true for a lot of gays. If it's we don't have those close relationships with our moms, it's the grandma, it's an aunt, it's someone in the family. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I've just got a couple more questions. One about confidence. I mean, we were talking a lot about the relationship you have with yourself, trusting yourself, and you strike me as someone that's really confident. And learning more and hearing you speak today, like that confidence and that joy, all of that comes through. So as we're talking about change and reinvention, I'm just curious, how have you always been naturally confident, and how we can trust ourselves through these spaces of change?
So I wasn't always confident, but I'm a firm believer of fake it till you make it. And I'm a firm believer of being really uncomfortable, failure, awful things happening to you then learn from that. I do think, I'm a millennial, I think, or Gen X, right? And I look at the youngsters, I think, bloody hell, they're really confident. Like, they're only like, I don't remember, they're really confident. I just think it took me a lot of trauma to be this confident. Do you know what I mean? And this wise, that's where I come from.
I get that.
Like, I've got this confidence because I've been through so much, but it shouldn't really be like that. And I do think, like, I do look at the internet and I look at youngsters, I think they're just, maybe there's no trauma. Maybe they've got healthy mum and dad, and they just lifted them up since childhood. That wasn't my experience,
right?
So but I don't have any regrets regarding that, and I'm very confident now to the point of just. There's certain things that I'm probably not that confident with. Like, I wouldn't necessarily, if I saw somebody that I particularly found attractive, I can't be bothered. Is it fear of rejection? Possibly. And I'm thinking, do I really want to put myself through that? But rejection's such a good thing as well. But you got to weigh up your own end goal. Do I really want to ask someone out to get rejected when I didn't really want it anyway?
Absolutely. Yeah.
So confidence-wise, I really think it comes with age too. I'm a bit too confident.
Too confident? I don't know. I say go for it. It's like, fake it till you make it for sure. Delulu is a Salulu.
It's true.
That is my catchphrase.
It's true. It's like porn. It's like porn. None of it's like real. Do you know what I mean? That's why I was so good at it, I think, because I'm really good at acting like I like guys. I'm just kidding. I do love them.
I like them too, Rebecca. I do.
And I do think that once everything's out there about me on the internet, right? You see there's no makeup faces, there's spotty butt cheeks of me out there, there's everything, and I just think I don't care, everyone's seen everything. Like I've dated the internet, do you know what I mean? They've woken up with me like the next day in the morning.
Just one more question for you before we wrap up, and I would love for you to share a flirting tip or two, Rebecca.
Okay, a flirting tip. So, okay. I actually don't think I'm that good at flirting. I think I'm really over the top. Okay. So key number one for me is if you look good, you don't have to do a lot. So make the best of yourself. I'm not going to turn up in my shitty tracksuits and, which I do wear. I'm never going to be able to flirt like that. The way I present myself has a lot. So if I'm out in a bar and I'm not going up to them, but I will make it obvious. And I am quite over the top, actually, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I just go, I do the classics of like, and then they come over.
Yes.
It's the simple all the time.
That's
yeah, it's
there
the simple.
You go.
Do you know when I'm at my worst? It's when I'm with my friends. It's too much.
Okay.
It's better if I am on my. See, I've got too much confidence when I'm with my friends. And we all go, it's like, it just gets too much.
Hyping you up. It gets
but we're all kind of like a pack of sexual hyenas. Like,
so more.
We all want you. And we probably scare them in the end.
I see.
We scare them. So I think I'm best on my own because actually on my own, it's more calm and it's more authentic. And I just think it's in the look. It's in the look.
All right. There you go, flirties. There's your flirt tip.
It's just in the look. Yeah, and they'll come up.
Make some eye contact. Yeah. But
then again, if you do want to be the person that goes up, just go, can I have your number?
From Rebecca Moore herself. There you go. I'm retiring from flirting now, Rebecca. I'm done.
I mean, it's not rocket science, is it? No. It's not rocket science, but do you know what? I think I just flirt all the time because I even give I do. So people that I'm not intentionally flirting with think I'm flirting with them, and then they ask me out because I'm just being nice.
I mean, ultimately, maybe a fantastic flirt tip. Yeah,
maybe men are just starved of women being nice to them. I
don't think you're completely wrong about that, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm just being nice to them.
Make eye contact. It's in the look. Be nice.
I'm sorry, I'm such a boring flirter, but
I don't think so.
To be honest, I am actually really out of practice.
Oh my God. Rebecca Moore, this has been just absolutely amazing conversation. The time has flown by. I do want to send the flirties your way to where you live on the internet. They can follow along, listen to the podcast. Yeah, where would you like to send them?
So I would say come and check out my YouTube. It's Rebecca Moore on YouTube. And there's In Bed with Rebecca Moore on there. There's also loads of vlogs about my life. Yes. I also have a podcast, Growth Friday, which funnily enough is kind of off topic, but it talks about a lot about when you're in the industry and you make some money, what do you do with it? And how to be money savvy as well. So that's where I'm at. I don't think there's I'm not a financial advisor, but it's kind of learn with me. I mean, I have many strings to my bow. I'm going to tell you I'm not a financial advisor.
Disclaimer.
Yeah, discllaimer.
But it's a great podcast. Flirties, please check it out.
Thank you.
Yeah. I really, really enjoyed it. This has been, so fun. Any just final words before we say goodbye for the flirties?
Do you know what? It's been so nice chatting to you. I was really looking forward to it.
Thank you.
It's just, I'm enjoying doing podcasts and you've been great. Where are you right now?
I'm located on the East Coast of the US. I'm in North Carolina.
Oh, very nice. And what have you got planned for the rest of the day? Today
is a day where I don't have, I'm not working at the store. I work part-time at a grocery store here. So today is editing, catching up on some podcast episodes, new podcast episode out, which I promoted just before hitting record.
Fantastic.
A little gym time. I teach yoga later. I've got a friend's birthday. So we've got a full day on the calendar here. Yeah.
Day. Very nice. Yeah. I'm off to do a little photo shoot with Matt and Run Club, more training.
Heck yes. I'm going to be following along. Rebecca Moore, thank you so much for being on the show today.
Thank you. And I'm sorry, I'm just not that interesting when it comes to flirting. I think I'm asexual these days. I don't think I've had a guy since 2025 now. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think I might have. Yeah, 2024. I mean, who'd have thought? I must be a nun now. Anyway, I'm looking for the one.
Look, me too.
I'm not. I'm just going to stick with dogs. No. Take that back.
Thank you, Rebecca.
Thank you very much.
All right, flirties, that's a wrap on this episode of Flirtations, the Reinvention episode of the program with the iconic, the legendary, the unforgettable, believable and just magical Rebecca Moore. Y'all, this was a dream interview for me. I remember when I slid right into those DMs on Instagram and I said, Rebecca, hello, it's me, Benjamin, the flirt coach, and Gay Libra. I have an idea. Would you like to come on Flirtations and record an episode together? And she said, yes. And then we did it. Oh my God, this was just unbelievable for me. A moment I'll always remember. Thank you, Rebecca, for coming on the show today, sharing more about yourself with me and with the Flirties. I'm really grateful. Thank you. Thank you so much. And thank you to you, the Flirties, for tuning in, for listening, for streaming wherever you are in the world. I hope you enjoyed this conversation as much as I enjoyed recording it for you. Yes, with Rebecca. Thank you so much for being here. Please share this episode or another favorite episode of Flirtations with a friend, someone you want to share, someone, yes, you want to share. That's what I'm trying to say. Some BFE, big flirt energy with. Rate, review, subscribe to the show, all the good things. Yes, I love you and appreciate you for being here and for your love and support. All right, signing off officially here at Flirt Headquarters. My name is Benjamin. I'm the flirt coach and Gay Libra Flirty. Happy flirting.